Let's talk about why I tried to become Kylie Jenner for a week. It started with a photo, Kylie, flawless, next to a car worth more than my apartment. Her life looked perfect, and I wondered, what if I could live like her just for a week? Not just the looks, the whole Kylie experience. The brand, the empire, the constant spotlight. Could a regular person like me, who sometimes eats cereal for dinner, survive as a billionaire beauty mogul? I wanted to find out what it's really like at the center of that world. So I made a plan. 1 week as Kylie. Full transformation, clothes, makeup, hair, even her daily routine. I'd eat what she eats, post like she posts, and try to capture her vibe. My friends thought I was nuts. You, as Kylie? They laughed. You're going to wear heels? Yes, I was. I was going all in. Contour, selfies, the works. This was my mission, to see if I could turn myself from a regular person into a global icon. What could go wrong? Spoiler a lot, but that's what makes a good story, right? I was nervous but excited. This was more than a makeover. It was a social experiment. Could I handle the pressure, the attention, the constant perfection? I was about to find out. So with a deep breath and a shopping list, I set out to become Kylie Jenner. For 1 week, I'd live in her world. Ready or not, here I go. Before I could become Kylie, I had to study her like I was cramming for finals. I binged Keeping Up with the Kardashians, scrolled years of her Instagram, and watched endless YouTube tutorials. I learned her favorite brands, her signature poses, and her ever-changing hair. Shopping was wild. My cart overflowed with makeup, bodysuits, high-waisted jeans, and of course, lip kits. The cashier gave me a look. "It's for a project," I said, trying to sound serious. I couldn't afford designer, so I hunted for lookalikes at fast fashion stores. I grabbed wigs, long and dark, short and colorful, because Kylie's hair changes daily. Then I researched her routine: early workouts, business meetings, family time, and constant social media. I made a schedule: selfies, meetings, aka emails, and even pool time, minus the actual pool. I was ready. I had the tools, the clothes, and the plan. The transformation was about to begin. Could I really pull this off? I was about to find out. This was more than dress up. It was a deep dive into the Kylie machine. I was nervous but determined. My week as Kylie was about to start. No turning back now. Let the experiment begin. Day 1, the full Kylie makeup routine. I woke up early, armed with a YouTube tutorial and a mountain of products. Foundation, concealer, powder, baking. My face felt like a cake. Contouring was a disaster at first. I looked more mud mask than movie star. But I kept blending, determined not to quit. After 90 minutes, I barely recognized myself. My face was sharper, dramatic, almost like a different person. The wig sealed the deal. Suddenly, I was playing a character. I squeezed into a bodysuit and high-waisted jeans, way tighter than my usual clothes. Walking around my apartment felt awkward and stiff. Then came the selfies. The famous Kylie pout is harder than it looks. My first attempts were hilariously bad, angry, confused, anything but glamorous. 20 minutes later, I finally got one decent photo. I was exhausted, and I hadn't even left the house. This was only day 1. Already I realized being Kylie is a full-time job. The transformation was real, but so was the effort. I wondered if I could keep this up for a whole week. The adventure had just begun. I was in deep, and there was no backing out now. Could I survive the Kylie lifestyle? Only time would tell. For now, I was officially in character. Day 1, complete. 6 more to go. Day 2, lips. Kylie's signature pout is legendary, so I had to master overlining. My first attempts were a mess. Wobbly lines, lipstick everywhere. After several tries, I finally drew a new, much bigger mouth on my face. The result? Cartoonishly huge lips that didn't feel like mine. Drinking water was a challenge. Eating lunch was a tactical operation. I spent the day hyper-aware of my mouth, terrified of smudging. Maintaining the look was exhausting. I realized it's not just about applying makeup, it's about living with it all day. Every bite, every sip, every smile felt unnatural. I practiced the selfie pout again, and with the giant lips, I finally looked a bit more like Kylie. But it didn't feel like me at all. It was like wearing a mask. The effort behind the effortless look was eye-opening. I started to understand how much work goes into being on all the time. The lips were the centerpiece, but the real challenge was maintaining the illusion. I was learning that beauty, at this level, is a full-time commitment. Day 2 left me feeling both impressed and exhausted. Could I keep this up? The experiment was getting real, and my lips had never worked so hard. Day 3, the heels. I'm a sneakers person, but Kylie's all about sky-high stilettos. I bought clear plastic heels, her signature, and stared at them like they were torture devices. Putting them on was a struggle. Standing up was even harder. I wobbled around my apartment, clinging to furniture for support. Determined, I wore them to the grocery store. Every step was a balancing act. My feet screamed in protest. People stared, some amused, some confused. I tried to act natural, but I felt like I was in a circus act. By the time I got home, I was limping. Taking the heels off was pure relief. I gained a new respect for anyone who wears shoes like that regularly. It's not just fashion, it's endurance. The pain was real, but so was the commitment. Day 3 taught me that looking glamorous can hurt, and sometimes comfort is the real luxury. I survived the heels, but barely. The Kylie life was taking its toll, but I wasn't giving up yet. On to the next challenge. Day 4. Living like Kylie means living online. My mission: create influencer-level content. I staged photo shoots in my apartment, smoothies, outfits, endless selfies. Each casual photo took dozens of tries and endless tweaking. I changed outfits, poses, backgrounds, hundreds of photos for just a few good ones. I filmed stories, trying to sound upbeat and glamorous. It felt fake and awkward. Talking to a camera alone is harder than it looks. I spent the whole day looking at myself through a screen. Everything revolved around creating the perfect image. I didn't read, relax, or talk to friends. My world shrank to what I could post. It was strangely empty. So much focus on the outside, nothing on the inside. I went to bed tired and a little lonely. The influencer life is more work than it seems. Behind every effortless post is a lot of effort. I was starting to miss my real life, but I still had a few days to go. The experiment continued. Day 5, time to reveal Kylie me to my friends. I spent 2 hours getting ready. Makeup, wig, tightest outfit, slightly comfier heels. Walking into the cafe, my friends stared, then burst out laughing. "You actually did it," they said, circling me like I was a museum exhibit. They poked my contoured cheeks, asked about the wig, and marveled at the transformation. At first, I felt like I had to perform, sit up straight, act glamorous, but soon we were just talking and joking like always. Still, every time I caught my reflection, I was shocked. That's me? Other people in the cafe stared too. Curious, maybe a little amused. I felt exposed, both powerful and insecure at the same time. I was used to blending in. Now I stood out. It was a strange social experiment in how appearance changes perception. Being Kylie made me visible, but also vulnerable. I realized how much attention can feel like pressure. The experience was eye-opening. I was learning a lot about myself, and about fame. The mask was starting to feel heavy. By day 6, the glamour was gone. I was exhausted, physically and mentally. My skin was breaking out, my head hurt from wigs, and I missed my comfy clothes. The constant focus on my appearance was draining. Even eating was stressful, always worried about smudging makeup. I hit a wall trying to take yet another perfect selfie. I looked in the mirror and saw a tired person in a costume, not Kylie. I was done. I took off the wig, scrubbed off the makeup, and put on pajamas. Seeing my real face felt like coming home. The relief was instant. I was finally myself again. The week after, I felt free. No more heavy makeup, no more pressure to look perfect. I appreciated comfort and normalcy so much more. The experiment taught me that the perfect life on social media comes at a cost. Being a public figure is a non-stop performance. I only lasted 6 days and was completely drained. I learned I'm happiest when I'm myself, not playing a part. True confidence isn't about contour or clothes. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. Trying to be someone else was fun for a day, but not sustainable. I have a new respect for people in the spotlight, but I love my quiet, real life. Less lip liner, more sweaters, and I'm perfectly okay with that.